The power of thought is deceiving, and it doesn't want you to become aware of it. It wants you to keep giving credit to something outside of you. The power of thought likes to remain anonymous and to just keep doing its work in the background. And the mind does a really good job of keeping your attention elsewhere. Like, look over here. It's that thing. It's this thing. It's out there. But it's not these thoughts. It's not the thoughts working in the background. You can think of thoughts as things, and they enter into the mind and they impress the subconscious with ideas, beliefs, and inner stories about the way that things are. And they carve out your life experience. It's like that spot on the concrete where the water drips over and over and over and over and over again. The same spot on the concrete where the water drips. And you could stand there for a couple weeks, probably a couple months, and you won't even see a thing change with it. But you come back a year or two later, and it's like these drops of water dug out this spot in the concrete. And you think to yourself, water did this? Water deformed and carved out the concrete like this rigid, tough surface of concrete got dug out by water? You think, okay, there's no way. But yeah, that is, you just know that that's how that works, right? So thoughts are deceiving in this way. It's like the effect is too slow for our attention spans to notice. So the power of thought remains anonymous in this way. It's like the water drops that hit the same spot of concrete over and over and over again, and they make that, they carve out that spot. You don't know exactly where the change took place, do you? But you just know after a year or two that, yeah, that's how it works. That's what happened. So these repetitive thoughts impress the subconscious. These same thoughts that are on repeat for you, same thoughts and feelings that are just unconscious at this point, they impress the subconscious over and over and over and over and over again. And they carve out your life experience. And it's these same thoughts, beliefs, and inner stories that are from childhood, and they get brought up into the adulthood that are just on repeat. So it becomes this unconscious thing where we just bring it up right from childhood into our adulthood, and we never really question the direction of our thoughts. We never really undergo a big change in thought. So we never experience the effects that has from the inside out. Okay? So on autopilot, there's this program running, these repetitive thoughts and feelings that just go. They just go. But if you radically shift your thought patterns, you can radically shift your life experience with it. From the inside out. As within, so without. But you know, what I learned from getting into this work, through my one-to-one coaching, working with clients, speaking with people, my own personal experience, we don't really know what we're thinking about. We don't really know what we're impressing into the subconscious mind to take form out here. There's so much going on in here. It's like there's too many thoughts, overthinking. There's too much going on where it's unorganized. We don't actually know what we're thinking about. But if we do take inventory on what we're thinking about, we'll find that it's thoughts with feelings attached to them of fear, uncertainty, guilt, shame. So this is the impression that the subconscious mind receives. This is the seed that you plant into the subconscious. And the changes of this, it's like they're too slow to notice, aren't they? This is how the power of thought remains anonymous, because the changes are too slow to notice. Just like the drops of water on the concrete, these repetitive thoughts impress the subconscious, and with our attention spans, the change is too slow to notice. So you need your attention span to do this. You can't be practicing these attention splitting activities of your phone, the computer, the TV's on, you got music in the background, you're talking to someone. We can't be doing that. We need to be able to sit in a room by ourselves for at least 30 minutes and let these new thoughts, these new ideas, these new feelings of our desires, of our desired reality, we need to let those marinate in our mind uninterrupted. So just like the drops of water, a big change in thought creates a big change in life experience. So how do we run an experiment with this, right? The metaphors, the analogies, the drops of water, the thoughts impressing the subconscious. How do we run an experiment with this? An experiment of thought. Okay? Well, like I said, your attention is needed. If your attention span is short, the changes are too slow to notice. But if you can focus on something for an extended period of time, you can explore this further. You can run an experiment like this by looking just behind the repetitive thoughts. Look just behind these repetitive thoughts, and you'll find energy. In other words, you look just behind thoughts, and you'll find the feelings associated with these thoughts. That's where the impression is being made. It's about taking inventory of the thoughts and the feelings associated with those thoughts, and then impressing new thoughts to take form out here. New thoughts and feelings. The desired thoughts and feelings. So that is where the water drop hits the concrete. You run an experiment with this by radically changing those repetitive thoughts. And if you're someone who's maybe a negative person, maybe you're kind of aware that, yeah, you get hung up in the negativity and it's kind of difficult for you to do this stuff, you might have to force it a little bit at first. You might have to force yourself to practice these new thoughts, these new way of thinking, this new way of feeling, practicing these different feeling states of gratitude and abundance. You might have to force it a little bit at first, but you won't have to force it for long. Because eventually you begin to dig out these new grooves, this new way of thinking, these new thought patterns, and then it just takes on a life of its own. And it grows without you really needing to nurture it too much anymore. But you might have to force it at first just to get the ball rolling, just to get the snowball rolling down the hill, right? So you take inventory of these thoughts and these feelings, and you impress the subconscious with new thoughts and feelings, right? Like Neville Goddard said in the mid-1900s, feeling is the secret. It's about feeling states. It's about getting clear on the feelings associated with your desired reality and impressing the subconscious mind with those feelings. Get clear on the thoughts and feelings associated with your desired reality of that end result, and you impress the subconscious with that right now. You bring that end result to right now. So you impress those prosperous feelings, right? Those prosperous thoughts and feelings into the subconscious. And then, when you do that, you let them grow from the inside out.